Welcome back. Now, TymeBank CEO for Retail and Business Banking, Karl Westvig, steps into the role of the company CEO later this year as current CEO, Coenraad Jonker, becomes executive chair of the group to oversee the bank's international expansion. Westvig, in the meantime, plans on growing TymeBank into one of the country's top 3 banks, and he joins us now with more detail. Karl, congratulations on your appointment, and thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Nolatanda. Great to be here.
Wonderful, Karl. Let's get right into maybe reflecting on TymeBank's journey to date. It really has been an astonishing one. I think the fastest growing digital bank that we have here in South Africa, and I think even around the world.
So it's the fastest growing bank, as well as one of the fastest to get to break even internationally, and certainly in Africa.
With that said, I'd like to then speak about the international operations versus what we are seeing here at home. How different is, a time globally to what we're seeing here at home? And, what does the journey globally look like at this point?
So TymeBank has taken the model. It's almost identical model into Philippines. So it's also partnering with a retail partnership called Robinsons Bank in Philippines. It's growing at an exceptional rate. So it's also got a phygital model, physical and digital, where customers can walk into a retail store, apply in 3 to 5 minutes, and have a card in their hand and walk out to the bank account. The plan is now to roll out products. We're actually live in Vietnam and then shortly into Indonesia as well.
I want to speak about some of the products that you have rolled out to date, looking maybe also on the lending side, because of course this is a very competitive side in South Africa. Not only do you compete with banks, but also many fintechs.
So we essentially have 3 products in our arsenal. So we kicked off a personal loan product early last year, and largely in partnership with the Fashini Group. We have a buy now pay later product called More Time that's also accepted across multiple retailers. And then the merchant cash advance product of Retail Capital was actually acquired. So that's a 12-year-old business, which is substantial. It's the largest SME lender in South Africa. So that's got deep penetration.
I want to speak then also about expansion plans. As you take over the local operations, Karl, what are you looking most forward to doing? And also, I guess, some of the key milestones that you're looking forward to.
So in the short term, I think it's critical that as a digital bank, we give exceptional service. And the bank has grown rapidly, and you need to make sure the foundations are in place. So there's a big focus on customer experience, on good onboarding process and good support. We're also re-looking at the positioning of the TymeBank brand, as well as rolling out further expansion plans. We aim to be a top 3 bank in South Africa on some key metrics, one being the fastest growing bank, the highest return on equity, and also the best efficiency in terms of cost to income ratios. And then we plan to be number 1 as the most loved bank in South Africa on Net Promoter Score.
Very exciting indeed. I also want to touch there on what you have seen as TymeBank in terms of South Africa's savings culture and really being able to, take those consumers, because initially many people saw TymeBank as a savings bank, and of course that's changed and developed over the time. But what that also means that TymeBank has been an important part of getting South Africans saving.
So the beauty of the TymeBank facility is, one, we're the cheapest bank to operate in South Africa. And in fact, there's pretty much a user journey where you can have free banking. So you can do many transactions and not incur any cost of time. On the other side of the spectrum, we pay the highest savings rates in the country as a bank. So we've attracted some significant deposits already. And we have some innovation around a product called Goal Save, where if you behave in a certain way, you can get up to 11% interest, which is significant.
Really is quite significant. We've also heard of plans to list in New York and South Africa. Talk to us about those plans, Karl. Very ambitious, but of course, welcomed, especially from a South African story perspective.
Yeah, Time is an incredible story. And so the plan is in 4 years' time, looking at potentially a New York Stock Exchange listing with a secondary listing in Johannesburg. What we need to do before we get there is to create better scale and growing in other markets, not just single markets. So Philippines is well on track, Vietnam next, Indonesia next. So in 4 years' time, we'll at least be in 4 very strong, large markets before we plan a listing.
And then before I let you go, I also want to touch on really getting people to get their salaries at TymeBank. I know this is always first prize for a bank, to be the bank of choice for salaries. How's that client acquisition strategy going?
It's strong. So there's certain segments we bank as primary bank customers. Banking is also changing, that people are also becoming multi-banked. They're using different bank accounts for different purposes. The trick is to make sure that transactions between those accounts are free or as frictionless as possible, what we try to achieve. And as we increase our product set for customers, it makes it more relevant to become the primary bank for more customers in South Africa.
We look forward to unpacking this journey in future. Karl, thank you so much for speaking to us this afternoon. That was Karl Westvig, CEO designate of TymeBank.